So to verify the configuration continues to the yesterday's configuration, the navigation is flowing from ECD to NW1 system here. Okay, ECD to NW1 system here. So which means if anything is developed in the ECD, it should go to the NW1, then finally it go to the production here. Okay. So then anyhow here we have the one system. So then what we can do, we can go to the configurations here. So domain controller. In the domain controller, anything if we want to do the changes or anything, 000 client in the domain controller, we have to perform the changes here. Otherwise, the changes you will not get the option to do the changes in the other systems here only. So in this system only we will get the changes, but here also we are getting the dumps. A lot of dumps we are getting here. Okay. So which means let's go to the ST22. There are the four runtime errors. Uncaught exception, raise exceptions, duplicate, object duplicate error here. Just 1 minute. Okay. So here in the development, all the development should happen in the developments ECD as per the routes. Then it should go to the NW1 system here. So now, as per the configurations here, what we have to do, so we have to create a request here, transport request here. Overall TMS configuration, there are the three parts here. Overall, the 3MS configurations here. One is the transport TMS configurations, TMS configuration. Second one is the request TR creation, then TR release, then TR import. There are the total four parts here as part of the TMS configuration. So configuration we have done yesterday. Okay, that is done. So coming to the request creation, this will be done by the developers or functional team here, right? Though this is also will be done by the who created the request, they will release it. So developers here. So this is also by basis person. This we have to do that one, and this is also by basis person only. We have to perform it here. So there are the four parts. If I divide the entire TMS configuration into the four parts here, configuration we have to perform. So request creation and release by will be done by the developers. Why? Because they are the responsible for developing the objects, testing and everything they will be done. Our request was only importing the request into the other systems here. This is the continuous procedure. But even though we'll discuss about the remaining the four parts as well here, right? TR creations and TR release and import also we'll discuss here. So what is this request here, right? So transport request, that request is called the transport request. TR is called the transport request here, transport request. So we have to create a request. Request is kind of a container. All the changes, whatever the changes, development objects that are collection of that all the changes that are made into the development system that we will record into the one request that is called the transport request. In other words, transport request is a collection of the objects changes which will move to the quality and production systems here, right? Transport request here. It also records the information changes. So the purpose of this request is to carry the objects from source to target system. And also it is also known as the change request here. Each transport request contains one or more change jobs, also known as the change tasks here. So each request contains the subtask will be there. In the subtask, we have to add the objects here. Transportable objects we have to use it. Transports. So means objects we have to store into the TR here. Object means what? Either table, functional model, development object, group, class, structures, so string, whatever it may be, right? Everything we can add into the one task. That task will be under the main request here, right? So the change task, which means is a list of objects that are modified by the particular user. Each task can be assigned to the only one user. That related changes he can record the changes into the one transport request task. The task we can release it, then we can import to the other systems here, right? That is the one here. So there is a the change request, there is a standard format is there here. In other word, change request is like a carry bag. Okay, so just container in our layman language, change request is like a carry bag. Carry bag means, suppose in case of when you visit the shopping, when you go for the shopping mall or when you purchase something, the person will give you the one carry bag to carry that object to your home or wherever you want. To carry that object, he will provide the one carry bag, right? So the same time here, so same time the transport request is the one kind of a carry bag to carry the objects from one system to other system. They will provide this carry bag to you so that you can import into the other systems here, right? Now you got it, better idea. Carry bag. Transport request is like a carry bag here to carry the things here. Things means when you go to the shopping or when you visit the any one of the shop, so you will purchase the milk packet or water packet, whatever it may be. So something you purchase it, you will provide the one carry bag to carry that objects into cover into outside. So then that is the carry bag here, right? There is a naming convention for this change request here is called the so SID and K9. K is the fixed one here. And K and number here. K and number here. K9 and so and number will starts here. Number 5 digits number will starts here. This is the naming convention here. SID means if you are creating the request into the ECD, then ECD K9 and the number will generate it here. Number will generate like this here, right? The 9 series with the number will be generated here, right? So this is not modified by the system administrators here. This is the standard format. This request will be created here, right? So also when you create the transport request, so it will create the task as well here. Task also will be created here, right? So suppose example ECD is our development system. So the request we have to create in the so three transaction codes SE01, SE09, SE10. Any one of the transaction code you can use it to create the transport request. There the multiple tasks will be we can create it here. By default, one task will be created here, right? So then the transport request. The transport request here. If you go to the SE01 or just there is a create option here. Click on the create. There the types of request here: customization request and workbench request and transport of copies. So this will be used exceptional purpose. This is used during the refresh time, but most of the time many of the developers will use the either customization request and workbench request here, right? So the request has two types here. The request, the transport request has so two types here, two types. One is the customizing request here, right? Customizing request. The second one is called the so workbench request here. Workbench customization request and workbench request here, right? Customization and workbench request here. So here customizing request. What does it mean by customizing request here? Contains the object belong to the client specific customization. Customization means client specific. It belongs to only client specific customization here. As per the client settings, these requests are automatically recorded as per whenever user wants to perform some customization settings. So it will be created. The request will be created. Only client specific request here. Suppose example here I am creating in the 100 client means then NW1 only a 001 client only it is applicable. Means only client specific request, not for other clients, other system data, everything. Only client specific data will be impacted here as per the setting here. Customizing request here, right? So this is the customizing request here. Only client specific. Suppose you are going to change something in the system that is the client specific one, then you need to choose the customizing request only here, right? So workbench request means here that contains the repository objects, also cross client customization object. Repository and cross client customization means it's a client independent. It is applicable for the all the clients. So when you do the changes here, that is applicable for the all the clients here. That time you need to select the workbench request here. Normally you no need to that much of knowledge here, in-depth knowledge on the this two. Why? Because you are not the responsible for creation of the transport request here. It will be done by the your developer. So but for understanding purpose, worker customization request means client specific request, and workbench request means it's a cross client and contains the repository objects. Suppose some people they are doing to do the repository objects. So that object can be accessible from any other clients also. That time that is called the workbench request and customization request here, right? Whenever click on the create a request here means carry bag you are creating first, not the product here, right? So whenever you go shopping mall, so then when you purchase the first, you purchase the object, either shirt, t-shirt, that is called the object here. Then after billing, the people will give you the carry bag to carry that object, right? So here the first we need to create a carry bag. Then I think a shopping mall also first we have to pick up the trolley, then inside of the trolley we need to pull the all the objects and everything. We need to place the all the objects, right? Same as like here also we need to create the object. So first of all create the request here, right? So description, what type of data you want to move it here. Then you can just choose the naming convention of the data here. So just click on the save button here. Here the request will be created here. Here the request will be created here. One is the main request, then subtask here. One request contains one or more task will be created here, right? By default, one task will be created. In the inside of this task, we have to add the objects, which means you need to double click on this task. You need to double click on this task here. You need to double click on this task. Then so you can add the objects here. Just go to the display change button, and here there is a syntax. You need to add it here, R3TR. Then what is the object? Which object you are going to add it here? Is it a class, object, GUI, package, field, table, match code, message, report? What you are going to move from one system to other system? So you need to add respective thing here, right? So that's why it's a very long length procedure. That's why you don't need in-depth knowledge. Suppose I want to move some table entry TABU, then what the table name is called the TBDLS table. I want to move from one to another here, right? But TBDLS table I want to move it. TBDLS table is not the incorrect type for here. There is a incorrect type here. So which one you want trying to move it here? the data we have to add it here. So otherwise, without data, maybe you can take the, so some other tables also you can take it out here, or there is a what we can do, some other packages tables. So client specific tables, let's what we can do, KP of this is the different table. Okay. So let's leave the data inside of the data here. Okay. So let's leave the data, and so otherwise we can also add it here. Then click on the save button. The data will be added here. Right. Once you add the data here, you are creating the change request here. Right. You are creating the change request here. Right. Data you can add it here. Data you can add it here. Customization request, or so that's a workbench request. You can add it here. Then once you done it here, you created the transport request data you added here. Then it will be in the modifiable status only. Now people cannot import the transport request here. So normally when we are doing the transport configuration here at the operating system level under the USR SAP trans, under the USR SAP trans here, under the ESR SAP trans, there is a folder will be created here by default. Here, all the configuration, transport related, all the configuration will be saved under USR SAP trans here. Here, bin means there is the configuration files, transport related configuration file, transport related profiles, all will be stored here. So don't delete anything here. And buffer, imported transport request will be saved here. Suppose if you are going to import to the EC NW1, then NW related transport request will be added to the here. If you are going to add to some other things related added to the here. So imported transport request will be in the buffer. Importing, which are going to be imported, the transport request will be in the buffer status here. Co-files and data files. Whenever you create a transport request, whenever you release it, whenever you release the transport request here, so the request is split into the two files here. Suppose example, you see here, what is the request you created here? ECD K900077. So 77. That request will split into the two files here. Will split into two files here. One is the co-files. Second one is the data files here. Co-file starts with the K9 here. Data file starts with the R9 here. Co-files and data files will starts with the K9 and R9. So K9 00077, R9 R9 00079, like that. The transport request will split into the two files here. Suppose example, so I am going to release the request now here. So request release means, so then first of all subtask we have to release it. Then main task you will get the right mark. Then when you done the main task release, it will go to the released status here, release. Then main task also will be released here. When the main task is successfully released, so see here, main task is successfully released here. This is ready to import into the NW1 system. See here, this is called the released status. Immediately when you go to the co-files, see 77, today's date 77, K900077, and R9 R9 00079 the request got released here. The request got released here. It got released here, right? So co-files and data files K9 and R9 data got released here. So here, if the data got generated means, in other words, TR got successfully released. If the data not generated means the request is not released here. So then once the request is not released here, then how can you import it here? There is a sequence here, right? TR creation, TR release, and TR import. TR creation, TR release. Then TR import procedure. There is a sequence here. There is a sequence of things here. TR creation, TR release, and TR import. There is a sequence of procedure here. Creation, release, and import. So TR creation, you done it. You added the object. Release means, so then go to the system here. Then just click on the release button, that will be released. Then TR is released. Then request import. Import, we have to do that one. Now people will send an email to basis team. I basis team, could you please import the transport request into the target systems NW1 system? Why? Because NW they have done the development here. They will ask you to import into the NW1 system here. Then log into the NW1 system. Then go to the STMS. For everything STMS only. Okay. So STMS. Then click on the import queue. Import queue. Import queue here. So it is import queue means all the systems will be available here. Then click on the refresh button. Whatever the request you released from ECD to NW1, that will be available in the here. Right? Just if you double click on it here, NW1, whatever the request you 77 you released it, that will be available here. That will be available here. 77 is available here. Right? The request is available here. Right? Then they will ask you to import into the, so NW1 some client and everything, they will provide the client number, or sometimes they will provide you the NW1 system here. Then select the transport request, click on the import button here. There is a truck symbol here. There will be the true truck symbol here, right? Don't click the full loaded truck here. There is a full load truck and semi loaded truck here. Full load truck means it will import the all the transport request, everything whatever is there here, 28 transport request, all 28 will be imported. It's a dangerous space. So if you just only click on the import request, only one transport request, whatever the selected you transport request, only that will be imported here. So here importing this work, we have to do that one. This is our mandatory. Remaining steps, if you forget it out, if you're getting confused, you can ignore it, but that is not the your duty. But importing the transport request is your duty here. In that case, what you have to do, you need to, so you need to log into the system. You need to log into the system here. Suppose example, log into the system. Which system they asked you to import? Then go to the STMS transaction code, click on the import overview, then click on which system they asked you to import, NW1. Then select the NW1 system, refresh. Then your request will be available here in the under the order. Select the request, click on the import request, right? Import request. Then target client. Here target client, you need to choose it here. Which client you want to import? I want to import to the, suppose like 001 client. Then select it here. Right? Here you can see you want to import the request immediately. Yes. No, you want to any time, you can set the timings also here. Right? Execution. Normally asynchronous mode only we have to choose it here. So what is the difference mean asynchronous? Asynchronous means, so a dialog, normally whenever you are importing the transport request in the backend, there is a background job will be, background work process is released here. So if you want to release that work process after the import is started, then you can select the asynchronous. Synchronous means that work process is blocked until import has been ended here. So normally we choose the default asynchronous only. Then here, normally we won't touch the settings here. We will keep it the same. Only options and client and options here we have to choose it here. Only client and options we have to choose it here. So what is the options here? We have to choose it here, right? So that is depends upon the customer and company also sometimes. Normally, first three, last one we have to select it sometimes. Then why? Because it leave the transport request in the queue and import the transport request again. Suppose override the originals, or so there is some options are there here. So normally first three, last one, some people first four, last two. That is depends upon the company, they will choose it here. What are the import options here? Otherwise, when you join the company, when you are they asked you to import the transport request on the daily basis, we have to ask them which options are we selecting for our customer, our client, our project, which options we are selecting here. Then based on that, you need to choose the respective options here. So then if they ask you what you choose in last time, then first three, last one. Okay. Then click on the continue button, then click on the import yes. Then the TR will be imported here. The TR will be imported here. The TR will be imported status. See here, TR is getting imported here. Import is running status here. Import is running means, so when the TR is importing here, the main thing is here, there is a written code of the transport request here. Written code will be displayed here. Written code will be displayed here. So TR is getting imported here, right? So when the TR importing in the RC column, written code column, it will be displayed here. So how can I know whether my TR transport request is imported or not here? Yet still truck symbol is there. See, import is running. That is fine here. Truck symbol is there. The import is running here. But sometimes we may get the you may get the this will be ended here, you will get the color coding here. What is the color coding means here? So you will get the RC0 transport TR import written codes here, import RCs here. So 0 4 8 12. So when the transport request 0, which means TR imported successfully. Written code 4, they are imported with warnings. Okay, fine. Warnings means, right, we can ignore it. In these two cases, we can ignore it. TR is successfully imported here. But when the RC8, 8 means it's a one or more objects are in error. So the objects which he added as part of the request creation, the developer, that objects are in the error. So then developer has to look into this one. Then RC12, it's kind of a system error, system error, system error. In case of this is a system error procedure here. RC12 means system error. System errors means we need to look at the, in case of TR ended with the RC12, then we need to look at, yes, you see here, TR in case of ended, the here we can check it out the logs here. If we go to then import history, we can check the logs here, how many transport requests are imported in the import history here. Then system log, TP system log, we can check it out. Upgrade is running, no import is possible. There is upgrade, someone is doing the upgrade. So it is import is not possible. There some logs will be displayed here. Some logs will be displayed here. Some logs will be displayed here, right? So that one we can do that one. That one we can import it here. Select the request. You can see the written codes here. Written code 0, green, and amber. Fine. If other than that, if anything is failed, then there is a issue here. There is a issue here, right? Request in which system you created, that request will be created here. That request will be created here, right? So that one we have to import it in the systems here, right? Just select it, click on the import the request here, then which system, suppose like now ECD, then select it with which ECD system, then what is the options, you need to choose it, click on the OK button, then the request will be imported. Okay, it is asking the password. The request is getting imported here. See, suppose like 57 I am importing here. It is getting imported here. It is ended with the, so RC4. Then we are good, right? RC4. Then we are good. If the 8 or 12, 8 means developer has to look it out. In case of 12, then we need to look at the issue. This is a system error here. If the RC8 RC12 comes, there is a system error here. System error means whenever the TR is getting imported here, the mainly the user, one user that is called the TMS ADM user should be not locked status here. The RFC destinations here, TMS ADM and TMS SUP, TMS star RFC destinations. Then there is a one background job, mainly the RDD IMP DP job. Transport request is not getting imported means because of the this job is not running here. So we can go to job means we can go to the SM37. So check the RDD, IMPDP, RDP, IMPDP, this job is running or not. We can check it out here. We can check the whether this job is running. Oh, NW1, I'm checking. We can go to here. We can check the status whether the job is running or not here. So RDD, IMP, DP. So which means this job should import the request here. This will import the request here. RDD, IMP, DP here. So this job is responsible to import the request here. If this job is not running, your transport request will not be imported here. There is a logic here. So TR is not getting imported means, so we need to check the so whether the job is running or not. So then RFC destinations are working fine or not here. Then we need to check the pre BTC work process here. Sometimes the job is not running because of there is no BTC work process here. Why? Because jobs will run by BTC work process. There is no BTC work process, jobs will not run. If the job is not running, then how the transport request will import, right? There are the multiple reasons, right? So multiple reasons can cause the issues of the so multiple reasons can cause the issues.
Which RFC it is using? Queued or synchronous? Which type of RFC it is
In
using?
SM59 that will be used here. SM59. So there are the TMS RFC destinations that will be used. That's why I mentioned here TMS star RFC destinations. It will be used here to import the request into the target system. So it will
That
be
is
use the sync or of synchronous mechanism. It will use it here. In case of
synchronous.
destination is not working, then immediately the request will be failed. So destinations are not working means the target system is not available. The target system is not available means it's down status. Then then we need to look at out the why it is not working and why it is down like that. So we have to check the system down situations and everything. We have to check it out that one. So TFS star destinations means all this will come. So this RFC destinations will run on the username is called the TMS ADM user. Sometimes TMS ADM user is locked. Then we will get the issues as well here. Multiple things here. Mainly these four are the culprits for transport request fail or transport request not getting imported. Taking time means these four are the culprit. Either user is locked or two our destinations are not working. Then we can check in the SM59 why it is not working. Job is not running, then background work process, users, we can check it out. Logs and all, we can also check in the STMS or operating system level also. We can go to the trans directory. There are the co-files and data files, buffers. Then EPS means support packs related things will be here. Then log folder here, we can check the S log, whatever the log files here. So here we can check the log files here. So whether the request is importing or not importing here, we can check the all the information and everything here. So any logs it will be detected here in the log folder here. Then SAP names means the developer details will be displayed here. No useful here, nothing. Only main thing is the log folder, co-files and data files. The TR is in case of TR is not released, you cannot import the transport request. So even it's not coming to the buffers list. So without releasing, you cannot import it. First, they have to create, they have to release it. Then your duty, you have to import it. That's what we have to do it in the systems. That's what we have to do it in the systems here, creation, imports, and all those things. We have to do it, select it, and click on the import button. So we can also import it. We can also create it. We can also import it. But so creation and not responsible. But so suppose if you want to create here, go to the SE01 or SE09, click on the create button, click on the workbench request or customization request, select it, then you can choose the request. Then subtask main task is released. Then you can just release the maybe people will add the objects here. Here we don't have any object. Then directly you can release it. The request will be released here, right? Workbench request directly you can request the main request, customization request, subtask and main task. You have to release it here. So demo 2 79 is released here. So definitely there should be a 79 file is there here. See 79 got created here. So then we can so 79 writes. Then if you go to the STMS transaction code, they will ask you to import to the request here. Then we can go to the here. Then
Sir,
there is a 79, select it and click on the import button. Then which client they asked you to import, select that request, select the options, click on the import button. Then you can import it here. That's what we can do it here.
sir, we can import with this T code as well, right? HTMS underscore import.
Yeah, directly it will open the import queue here. STMS means, so you can select the queues and everything. If you go to the STMS underscore import, directly it will open the queue, import queue here. Import queue will be opened. Simple.
So that customizing is client specific, right? Then we need to go to that particular client only, right, to import
Right,
that.
right. Which client you use, the specific client where you want to move that changes, only that client you have to go it. So cross
And
client workbench,
workbench is
workbench is the cross client customization. Any client you can do the changes that will be affected to the any other clients also here.
okay.
So
Sir, suppose like while importing a TR, if it gets failed through charm, then we need to import it manually, right?
yeah,
So
sometimes
with
if you are using the some third party tools, some tools you are using charm, some active control, maybe some manually we can select it and we can import it.
yeah, but with the overwritten, original
Yeah,
overwritten,
that's
that can be
yeah, that
over.
depends. That depends upon the whatever the customer asked you to do that one, that you can choose it here. Maybe he asked you to overwrite it, or import the request again, ignore it, or skip procedures. Whatever the option your company is choosing, that you can choose it. That it depends actually. All the companies will follow the same, not follow the same. Suppose like if you ask me, we will choose the first three, last two, we will choose it. We will click on the import the button here. Like that we will import that request here. See, it is getting imported now.
Yes. Suppose if it getting failed in, if it getting failed in quality through charm, then we need to log in to quality system and we need to import it, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
See, it is in the logs are updating. So here you can go to the import monitor, the request, whatever the request, it is getting imported here. See, it is getting imported 23. Import truck is running here. So then we can check it out here itself. We can check the logs, or OS level also you can check the logs in the log directory, trans log directory. You can also check the logs here. So we
So
are
in
going
case we
to
are migrating
create a
something, right? Suppose development to QA, and we need to revert back those changes. In that case, what we need to do?
same transport request only, each and everything transport request only. Something you are moving, something you want to revert it after the migration, something like that. So first of all, you need to create a transport request and keep it not to import, keep it. Then after the migration, you can import the same transport request. That's possible. That's why each and everything they will carry forward. So they will carry, right? So that's why they will put into the one transport request. They will release it. Then once the migration or whatever you have done it, then they can import into the so systems.
Okay, means they are taking the backup kind of thing before the importing.
Yeah. If this, yes, right. Before migrating and everything, they want to something not should be migrated. Then they will create a transport request. They will add the all the whatever the objects they want to. They don't want to migrate it. Then they will keep it the transport request. They will note down the transport request number. They will release it. So then they won't import it. Once the migration is done, then they want to reset the originals. Them the same request, same transport request. They will import it.
Same thing has happened for background refresh also. I mean, system
Yeah,
refresh.
refresh time also we will do it, right? Transport of copies, same thing.
Okay.
See here, a transport request got failed, different error here, RC8. Why this RC8 got occurred here? If you go to the logs, there is a method execution error, RC8. There is a error. So object note not been imported successfully. So there is a error. So it's a developer who wants to implemented these nodes, they have to check that part first of all. So whether these objects, these requests are correctly they have maintained or not, they are the responsible. So they need to check that one. They will create a one more request for this one to fix these issues. So okay, RC8 means so they are the responsible. The who created the transport owner basis, they are the responsible. They need to check it out.
Once we create the transport request, who will add the objects into
They
that?
will only add the objects.
Okay.
Developer will create the request, add the objects, they will release it, they will hand over to the basis team to import it here. Our duty is only for importing the transport request. Something is failed, again we have to take a note down of the error log and we have to inform to them. So TR is failed with the below issue. So please check from your end. So they will check it out.
So that is their responsibility, right? They're taking the
Yes.
backup if they want to revert back.
Yes, yes.
Here, the difference between this TMS and CTS, both are same or any?
CTMS configuration is kind of a non-ABAP systems like Java, PO, some other object that relate portal systems. So that time, so we have to we have to create a CTS plus transport request here. CTS plus. So there is an option here. So CTS plus request. That time we have to create the CTS request here. Means suppose you are going to add the Java system. Java systems are not ABAP systems. Then so non-ABAP systems. Then you can create the Java that system name. Those details we have to add it to the here. That is called the CTS plus transport request here. This is called ABAP to ABAP is called the TMS request.
And also that full loaded truck, we need to make it as one,
We
right?
can deactivate it.
Need
Yeah.
to disable, right?
Yeah. That is also we can do that one. We can log into the system. So maybe if you log into the system, so in the domain controller system here, then there is a transport parameters. We can add it to the here systems. Suppose like we want to disable it here, then change button. Changes permitted only in the domain controller. Domain controller means which system is okay. ECD. ECD we have to log in here. There is a parameter import underscore no underscore import underscore all equals to that parameter we have to change it here. Suppose you want to disable the import underscore all truck symbol here. Then there is a parameter here in the transport tool. There is a parameter no underscore. There is parameters here. Let's see here. TP version, TB dash transport. Yeah, no underscore import underscore all. So that we have to change it to the 1 or 0. Then the transport truck symbol will be so see here truck symbol is disabled here. There is a full load truck, so that is disabled status here. Like that we can do that one disable. Maybe if you keep the 0, then save it. Now it will be activated. See, just to go to the here and it will be activated here. Just refresh. Right. See, one more truck symbol is came. So this parameter we have to change it here.
We can import that here directly into a production system while skipping quality.
No, that is a dangerous action, which means something it's failed, entire your production system will be corrupted status. So that will be the dangerous status. We can bypass it, but that is not the recommended approach, and that is not the recommended approach, first of all. Something is happened, your production system will go corrupted status. So corrupted status means then people will question you without testing, without importing to the quality how you imported to the production system here. So that is the one of the dangerous one. Okay,
Okay, sir.
just to practice it. Just to practice it, and tomorrow we'll see the just check the logs, practice the create the empty transport request, try to import it and see, practice it. Okay.